Ago, AP, he finally made his decision. We did a ton of interviews, and there was actually a surprise interview that there was just speculation or report that we were interested, but we actually brought another name in. I believe that's now the seventh name, but we finally got the news. AP made his decision, and it was reported again just minutes ago by Mike Garafolo that Cliff Kingsbury is going to be the new offensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders. So I want to jump on here and obviously just kind of get this news out to you guys, but at the same time, kind of get your guys' feedback because over the last couple of weeks, we've been really talking about this. I've been posting a couple of videos on this. I'm getting mixed emotions, right? A lot of people were wanting to wait for Kubiak. A lot of people were big on Cliff Kingsbury, and some of you were absolutely not, do not hire him. And I had some of my concerns, but at the same time, out of all the coaches that we interviewed, he was on the top of my list. And so, and because not just because of his, he's got head coaching experience, he's proven that he can develop a good offense, but to the ties to some of the quarterbacks that now might be truly in play with this hire, and we're going to get into that as well. And so, leading up to this, I love the fact that Antonio Pierce really started doing his research. He did his due diligence, brought a lot of names in, right? It really starts by Shane Waldron, interviewed him, Luke Getsy, Alex Van Pelt. There was also there was reports that we were going to bring in Zach Robinson. I don't believe we brought him in for an interview. Mike Sullivan, the ex-OC that took over after Matt Canada was fired over with the Steelers. We were going to bring him in for a potential interview. But even with all the interviews, and Cliff Kingsbury came in twice, and it was my feeling that he came in twice and he came and gone, right? Came in, did not leave with a contract. And so maybe something was off there. Maybe we want to do a little more research and AP want to, really bring in some other guys. And based on another report that just came out, and I'll pop it up, is that according to Ian Rappaport, the Raiders interviewed UCLA's coach Chip Kelly at least twice for their vacant OC job under Antonio Pierce. Sources say Kelly appeared open to returning to the NFL, but Pierce ultimately chose Cliff Kingsbury. Now, that report just came out, I want to say maybe a few days ago, and I did drop a video on that about the Raiders possibly being interested in Chip Kelly and vice versa. But there wasn't reports of a meeting scheduled or anything like that. And so I think it's very interesting that Antonio Pierce actually brought in Chip Kelly twice. And so, again, it just shows that he really did his research. Antonio Pierce tried to make the right decision and get this hire right. And I'll tell you right now, I'm excited. I understand in the comments in my previous videos, some people were basically saying, don't bring him in. I don't want him in the building. But I think we all have to take a step back and really, really break this down. And based on all the names that were available, I truly do think that Cliff Kingsbury was the best one, was the best option. Now, would I liked us to actually reach out to Zach Robinson, the passing coordinator for the Rams? I would have liked to, but as soon as I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name, but the defense coordinator for the Rams that got hired by the Falcons, Raheem Morris. As soon as Raheem Morris was hired on with the Falcons, I had a really good feeling, and I said this in a previous video before the hiring happened, was that Zach Robinson might go with Raheem Morris. And that ended up happening. And so maybe he was just off the table. So for the options that we had sitting in front of us, I truly did feel that Cliff Kingsbury was the right guy for the job. Now, let me know in the comments down below, guys. Let me know what are your thoughts and your feedback on the hiring of Cliff Kingsbury. All right? And before I go any further, if you guys could, please like this video, subscribe, turn those notifications. I've only been doing this for about 3 months, and all the support you guys have given me, I am extremely grateful, and I can't thank you guys enough. So let's just keep this train rolling. You guys are the reason why I do this. The engagement that you guys give me, I love it, and I do everything I can to jump in the comments and respond to you guys because I love the feedback that you guys give me. So now let's take a second and kind of look at what does this mean about regarding the draft, and what does this mean regarding the potential next quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. And let's look at the draft first, right? A lot of people want us to jump up into that top 3 spot because obviously you got Caleb Williams sitting there, you got Drake May, and you got Jaden Daniels, right? Those are most likely to be the top 3 quarterbacks that come off the board. They could potentially go in the top 3 picks. And so do we want to jump up? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you want to be one of those? Do you want us to jump up into the top 3 picks to really have a good chance at getting one of those 3 quarterbacks? But as it stands now, if we want one of those top 3, we most likely have to get into one of the top 3 picks. Now, could one of them fall down to, say, maybe the Giants? Now, obviously, Daniel Jones is over there. Who knows what's going to happen there? But maybe one of those quarterbacks fall to the Falcons, and maybe we can switch there and trade up. Now, I'm going to do a video on that. Now that Cliff Kingsbury is in place, I have a better idea as to what I think might happen, and so I'll be dropping videos on that. But again, let me know in the comments, do you guys want to jump up and get one of those top 3 positions to get one of those quarterbacks? Now, the quarterbacks that I think are in play now are obviously Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. I do think those are probably the 2 top quarterbacks that will fit Cliff Kingsbury's system perfectly. Obviously, he worked with Caleb Williams last year. Caleb Williams is a dynamic athlete. He's a huge talent, right? There's a reason why he's in the top, if not the top quarterback for this draft. So, let me know if Caleb Williams is your top quarterback in this year's draft. But I really do think that those are the top quarterbacks in play right now that Cliff Kingsbury is part of the Las Vegas Raiders, and we want to get him his guy. That's the biggest thing. He's got a great system, but his system is the air raid. He likes to air that thing out. He likes to push that ball downfield. Now, what he did show in Arizona, that he did become a little more balanced as an offensive coordinator, as a play caller, because you got to remember, he had a top 10 run offense while he was with Arizona for 2 out of the 4 years. And so I believe he's a little bit balanced, but I do think that Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams is going to be kind of one of his targets going into this draft. Now, not only do we want to look at what the possibilities are when it comes to the draft, but we also want to look at the possibilities when it comes to free agency, right? We may not be able to go up to the number 1, number 2, number 3 spot, because that's a lot of draft capital to give up in order to get up to those spots. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot of competition to get up to those spots. So it's not necessarily whether or not we want to get there. Jumping from 13 to a top 3 spot is a long ways to go. You never know. There might be the Falcons that want to jump up. The Broncos might want to jump up. Who knows? Maybe the Giants want to jump up to get their guy. You might see someone like New England jump in front of Washington to maybe get their guy. You never know. You never know what will play out in the draft. So there might be too much that we would have to give up in order to get up there into those top 3 spots. So it opens up free agency. Now, Justin Fields. There are rumors that Justin Fields might want to, or there's rumors that Justin Fields could be tied to a possible trade with the Raiders, okay? ESPN has dropped a report. I'm going to talk on that in the next couple of days. But Justin Fields could be another quarterback that could possibly thrive in a Cliff Kingsbury offense. You got quarterbacks kind of like Baker Mayfield. I could see Baker Mayfield thriving that in Cliff Kingsbury's system. And I believe Baker Mayfield was once coached by Cliff Kingsbury. You got a guy, Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew could also be a guy that could potentially play in his system. So if we cannot get up into that top 3, there's a chance that we could attack someone in free agency. So if we did go the free agency route, let me know if there's a quarterback in free agency that you would want to target or possibly trade for now that we have Cliff Kingsbury. So All right, guys, I appreciate you. I just want to jump on and hit you guys with this news and get your guys' feedback. I'm going to go more in depth in the next day or so, break this thing down, really understand who Cliff Kingsbury really is, how it relates to our roster, how it relates to some free agents that are out there, and how our strategy within the draft might play out, in my opinion. So, again, let me know in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on the hiring of Cliff Kingsbury? All right, guys. Again, if you could, please like this video, subscribe, turn on those notifications. It is now exciting because we know who's running this offense, and I think that Cliff Kingsbury has a chance at making this offense pretty exciting. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.